Are you looking for some ideas to quilt a leaf-inspired quilt? Stick around. Welcome to Handi Quilter Watch and Learn. I'm Kim Sandberg and
I'm Kristina Whitney.
And today we are going to tackle something that has been a really fun project for us. We've partnered with American Patchwork and Quilting magazine, and we're doing one block two ways. So they've pieced the block, they've sent it to us. All we have to do is quilt it, like our favorite part, right?
Like it's a rough life.
I know. It's so fantastic though, we absolutely love it. So this block is going to premiere in the October 2024 issue of American Patchwork and Quilting, and it is a very, very classic block. It's the maple leaf. If you have a maple leaf quilt block that you've had kicking around for a while and you've been looking for some design inspiration, we are here to help you today.
We are. So we're going to do one simple version, one a little bit harder. We didn't really talk about this though. Did you do the simple or the hard?
I did the simple version.
Oh, I thought I did the simple version.
What?
No, we're going to do unique versions.
There we go. There we go. They might
and you
actually
choose which one's simple and which one's hard.
You can let us know which one. In my mind, I was thinking simple, but who knows? Anyway. So
okay.
We have got, just to show you a couple of the things we're working with. First of all, we have some preview paper here that when we take this block off the top, we'll be using dry erase markers to practice our designs on. We love using preview paper for that. And then we'll have some other tools that we're going to use while we're quilting. I was trying to think if we have anything else.
Yeah. Not only are we using the preview paper to audition the design, but it's a great way to practice your pathway. So a lot of the blocks, we try to do them continuous, and we need to figure out where we need to go from one point to the next point. So actually drawing it and keeping that marker on that preview paper, that really helps out. So
exactly.
Love it.
It's a really great tool. Just make sure you keep it on top of the quilt block. So let's talk about the next thing, the next choice you've got to make when you're going to quilt something. You got to choose thread.
Yes.
So let's take a look. Why don't we take a look at your thread choices first?
Okay, well, I'm going to be a little bit wild and crazy. So maybe I am doing the hard version because I'm using 3 threads.
Okay, there you go.
Okay, so I chose, this is a So Fine 402. It's on a spool, and I'm going to use that for the cream section. So I'm really matching my threads pretty much.
Okay.
For the green fabric, I'm using this green. It's a 450 So Fine from Superior Threads.
Okay.
And then in the stem, I'm going to use a Magnifico. It's got a little bit of a sheen. It's a trilobal, and that is Magnifico 2038.
Very cool. I like that. So you're going all out. I'm gonna. You definitely up the complexity level just because you got to change the thread.
I have to change the thread, which means I won't be doing the whole thing continuous.
Exactly. I am going to use one thread.
Okay.
I'm going to use one of my absolute favorites when you're looking for something that's going to kind of blend, but you don't want to use a white or an off-white. It's So Fine 517. It's just a really soft yellow color. And I don't know about you, but I use this a lot when I quilt as a blending thread.
Yeah.
It's really great. So that is what I'm going to use on the whole thing.
Okay, so let's take this one out of the way. And we've got our preview paper, and you probably want a marker.
I do want a marker, and not the marker I have over here because it's a Sharpie. I have a little bit of an issue removing it when you're ready to start doing yours. Okay, so I am definitely going for quilting that is going to emphasize the piecing. So one thing to remember whenever you're quilting a block is that the part of the quilt that is not quilted is what your eye is drawn to. I want to draw your eye to the center part of the quilt, like the leaf part of the quilt, so I'm not going to do a lot of quilting in here. Most of the quilting is going to be around the outside. So I want to do some straight line quilting, and just a note, you can absolutely do this with a ruler. Like I've got the skinny straight. I'm most likely going to use this while I'm quilting this. It has 1/4 inch markings, so it makes it really easy to decide, you know, and be consistent with my lines. But if you are quilting on a machine and you can't use rulers, or you don't have rulers, say for example you're quilting on your home machine, you don't have a ruler foot, you can still do these designs. You can absolutely do these designs. You could use a walking foot to do all the straight line quilting if you wanted to. Okay, so like I said, I'm going to quilt a lot around the outside, not as much on the inside. So let me see if I can find my path here. Okay, what I want to do is like a 1/4 inch offset from the design here. And then I want to create straight lines in here. And instead of trying to move down and then go in and go out and come back and then have this line I have to fill, what I'm going to do is quilt up, do my 1/4 inch, and then I'm going to come down here and I'm going to quilt in and touch the line and come back out, and in and touch the line and come back out. That way everything's consistent and I have a nice line here that I don't have to go back and quilt over.
Yeah. Tracing back over that diagonal line gets a little tricky, or curves. Oh, yeah.
Yes, exactly. So this is a quilter's trick, I like to call it, of how to fill in a space like that. Okay, so I'm going to do that going around, and then I'm going to come up here to this corner, do the same thing. I'm just going to do one across here.
Okay.
And then on this one, it's going to be a little bit of a, oh, actually, okay. So on this side of the leaf, I want all the lines to point this way. On this side of the leaf, I want all the lines to point this way. And then I'm going to do something a little bit different up here. So I will come down here and I will do my little in and out.
While you're drawing, can I say a little trick? If you're
Go for it.
If you're doing this with rulers, you want to make sure the ruler doesn't shift, so when you come back out, you stay on the same line. So make sure you use Handi grip, which is like a almost like a sandpaper that you put on the back of a ruler.
Do we have a ruler with some of that on that? I don't know if we have any of that
I'm sure
right
we
here.
do. Let me go wander.
It is, you are exactly right. Sometimes on your straight line rulers, you don't want to have that going on. You want to use the side that doesn't have it, so you just flip over and use the other side. But this, the Handi grip right here, these little pieces of sandpaper, they just help stabilize it so your ruler doesn't rock while you're doing these lines.
It just kind of grips onto the fabric for you.
Exactly. So you'll notice here on this one, I actually did the line. I came in, I went in here, and then I went across. Once again, I'm using this straight line here as and not trying to move along a curve there. So I'm basically quilting in and out on this one a few times, which is okay. I'm using a blending thread and I'm using a lighter weight thread, so it's not going to be too noticeable. Now, when I come here to do something just a little bit different, I'm going to do the 1/4 inch offset, and then I'm basically just going to go back and fill it in like this. So just creating, I don't even know what you call that, stack squares?
And there is a great ruler for that. It's the dual edge.
Oh, you know, I should use that while we're filming. I didn't even think about that one. Come down here, go across, and I'm going to do my in and out. Oh, wait a minute, wait a minute. Okay, this is where I have to stop and think about it because I just did that wrong. This is why it's good to do it here ahead of time. So, okay, so let's take a look at this ruler really quick. So this is the dual edge, and you're exactly right, because it will help me get that perfect 90 degree, and because it's got the 1/4 inch markings on it, I can just scoot it up each time and keep it consistent. And I don't have to be turning my ruler while I'm in the middle of quilting. I'm so glad you thought of that. I always reach for my skinny straight, so, you know. All right, and then once again, I'm just gonna do this, and I'm not gonna do as many lines this time because I think everybody has got the idea, right? Okay, so we're gonna do that, that. Okay, now I've got all this lovely background quilting that is really going to make the center pop. So I need to get into the center here. So I'm gonna come, this is the only curve I'm gonna do. I don't know exactly what this one's called. I call it like a bounce back. You just bounce back and forth on it.
I've heard bouncing bananas.
Bouncing bananas, okay, I like that one. It really, I love doing it on something like this because it even creates a little bit of like, that it's rounded.
Yeah.
So,
It
okay.
makes me think of bamboos.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I didn't even think about it. So bouncing bananas, bamboo, back and forth, bounce back.
Got the bee theme going on.
We totally got it going on. Okay, now what I want to do is just a basic outline inside here. And I don't want to break my thread, so I ended here, so I'm just going to travel out. I'm totally fine with having a little bit of a thing there, a little bit of a seam there, a stitching line. And I am going to use a 1/2 inch offset. And I am just going to go ahead and go around, echoing that piecing inside that. And I'll go ahead and do that, and then I come back to here and I'm done. I didn't break my thread.
Excellent.
Now, one thing to be sure and check is if you're using, always check with your manufacturer on the batting and make sure that you aren't leaving more space than you should. A lot of batting says that you can leave 8 to 10 inches. If you can, what I've got here is perfectly fine. If yours, the batting you're using maybe suggests that it needs to be a little tighter, maybe what you want to do is just go in and do one more echo going around. You could absolutely do something like that just to tighten it up. But remember, your eye is always drawn to what is not quilted. So your eye is going to be drawn to the center of this design. So that's my simple, not as complex, using only one thread design. How's that, Kristina?
Yeah, but you had to think a lot about which way the lines went.
Maybe not so simple. Okay, all right, so we'll go ahead and erase this one, and then Kristina's going to show us her line, what she's got going here.
So I'm going to start with my orange thread. Can I grab that marker from you? Thanks. And I'm going to keep this pretty basic. In here, I'm just going to do some straight lines. And I can do it with a ruler, or I can do it free, whatever I feel like. Okay. And I can even like stitch around the whole thing. Okay?
Cool.
So one thread done. Woo! That was easy. Okay. Now I'm going to go for my green thread.
Okay.
And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start here, and I'm going to create the veins of the leaf.
Ooh.
So I'm going to just do like a spine kind of vein, and I'm going to come back, and I'm just doing like the main spine right now.
Okay.
So I'm laying down like a lot of thread in here, which is my goal kind of, because I want this to show. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back and I'm going to add more. And just filling in, maybe come up a little higher, filling in some of that space, traveling back, maybe put one in here. So I'm going to do a lot of backtracking. I'm not going to worry about the lines going right over top of each other, because again, I want this vein to be kind of the focus.
I like that.
And this is very freeing. I don't have any rhyme or reason to what I'm doing at the moment. Maybe add one in there. Get one more here. Okay.
Gorgeous.
So that's the green.
Okay.
And now we'll bring in the cream. And I'm going to be doing this kind of thinking about nature, like the actual leaf.
Okay.
And I was thinking, well, what's in the background of a real leaf?
Right.
Air.
Right.
Well, how do I do air?
Blowing wind? I don't know.
I'm going to do some blowing wind.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yes. Okay, so I'm also going to possibly stitch in the ditch using this cream, because I think most of the low sides are in the cream.
Okay.
There was a couple sides that got, like that one's on the green, but we'll make it work. We'll pretend like we didn't stitch that. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of do some swirls. Just filling in that space. Same thing over here. Just kind of making that wind motion. And just continue. Whee! Yeah, someday I will be able to draw without making sound effects.
I need to work on my sound effects. I have like 0 other than, oh shoot, I should erase that.
Yep, so just continuing that wind throughout the background.
I really like that.
And this is a little bit more dense quilting. This has a little bit more pop to it, so hopefully that will keep that as the center of the focus, kind of like what you were saying with yours. So
yeah, I love that. Well, Kristina, that's fantastic. What a great idea for a very fall-themed quilt, because leaves, wind, I love it. All right, well, check out, here is us quilting these blocks. Well, Kristina, that was really fun. Stitching
It
out that
was.
maple leaf block, it's classic, but I think we came up with 2 great ways to get it finished.
Yeah, I didn't want to stop.
Yeah.
I just wanted to keep adding more veins and filling it in, and I had to just say, okay, that's enough. Got to end it sometime.
How dense do you want the quilting to be? I love it.
Yeah,
I love
so
it.
that was a fun block.
That was a really fun block.